Welcome. Today we have special New Year's Eve episode featuring the much more popular than myself, Andrea Adventurous Journeys.
Hello. So for the last day of the year, we're gonna do the interview with Mor Acro. Many of you requested this before, so we're gonna ask him a few questions and see how it goes. And if by any chance we didn't ask him, what do you want to know? Just comment in the comment section, and maybe we do another interview soon. What do you think?
Bring it on. I'm waiting for my questions. That's what I think.
So let's start with your name. A lot of people are confused. What is Mor Acro? Does it have to do something with Morocco? Is it like on purpose or no? Can you explain a little bit?
Mor Acro is a little bit of a word play. It's something that I came up with when I came to Morocco in 2017, and I wanted to do more Acro Yoga and to teach Acro Yoga, so I thought of this concept of Mor Acro. It was just like one or two letter switches from Morocco, and it became Mor Acro. So I made a flyer that said Mor Acro, teaching from Kevin for Acro Yoga, and that's how Mor Acro was born. And then it kind of became a YouTube name and evolved from there.
Okay, so you said you came to Morocco in 2017. What brought you here? Like, why Morocco? How did you find Morocco, like among all these other places?
I googled best places to learn to surf in the world, and it was like a list of 10. It had Kuta, Bali on there. I'd been there. Byron Bay, Australia. I'd lived there and learned to surf. First surfing lesson there. Then it was Newquay, the UK, and I said that's too cold. It doesn't sound that fun. And then Morocco, Tagazout, Morocco, and I had no idea how to pronounce Tagazout. I'd never seen this word or those letters in this combination, but I thought, all right, Morocco sounds warm. It looks like the surf is good. The food looks exciting and interesting, spices. So I said, all right, let's try out Morocco.
Okay, so you came to Morocco to surf, and then you started to teach yoga here, or yeah. So you came because of surfing, and you started teaching yoga. So when does your yoga journey begin?
I started doing yoga about 9 years ago. I broke my arm. I had a compound fracture. So both my radius and the ulna broke, but the ulna was out of the skin. I got a scar right here. And after this operation, I had 4 weeks in a cast. They had staples in here and they took it off. And I was unable to go to the gym, to play basketball, to play water polo, to play all the sports that I used to really like. And in order to help with the physical therapy and the rehabilitation of my body, I began to do yoga exercises such as plank, downward facing dog, sun salutations. And with this, I was able to gradually and progressively put more weight on my arm and build it up stronger, get the wrists going again. So I started doing yoga 9 years ago to help with the injury I had.
And did it help? Like, what was the journey like?
It was actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I had a lot more injuries after that, and yoga helped with shoulder and hand and other things that came later. But with this, I felt I was getting my strength back pretty quickly. I mean, I was only out for a month, so there wasn't that much strength loss, but it was a matter of getting the confidence to go into these body motions and press again.
And when did you learn about Acro Yoga? So this is like other journey.
Acro Yoga was over 5 years ago. It was in my yoga teacher training. So after I started doing yoga for my arm in 2011, I kept doing it for my mind, for other things that came up. For the next 4 years, I took a teacher training in 2015 for yoga. It was during this teacher training I found Acro Yoga and really fell in love with the practice. I remember the first time I went up flying, I really fell in love with it. I said, how is this even possible? This is crazy. I want to do more of this.
Okay, let's go back to Morocco. So you came here 2017, what was your first impression? Like, you came to this country in Africa. Like, what did you know something else about Morocco before, or what were your expectations?
I think I read like an idiot's guide to Morocco or before you go to Morocco kind of thing.
Yeah.
And all I really remember from that is saying that they use propane tanks everywhere. There's no running gas. It's a pretty modern place. And I remember getting off the plane, smelling the place. It smelled pretty good. It was warm. And driving to Tagazout and just seeing a bunch of hose stores. So a bunch of people selling hose, like tubing and everything. That was my first impression. You go down the winding road to Tagazout and it's just this little dirt road and you're in this little village. And, it's hard to give an impression on a whole country when all you did was fly to Agadir and take a taxi to Tagazout. And then you stayed in Tagazout for like 2 weeks. You don't get the big picture of the country. But my first impression was this was a hip place. A little dusty, a little different, but I liked it.
Okay. So can you talk about culture shock, or no? There is no such thing as a culture shock. I mean, it is a different culture.
Culture shock. I had lived in Australia and Spain before, so I was anticipating some difference. Of course, every time you go somewhere new, it's going to be unexplainable. There's going to be things that you never thought about that are different. For me coming here, there wasn't too much culture shock. I had someone, he was a Canadian, and he told me in my first week, he said, don't try and change the world. He said, there's going to be a lot of things you see and you might not like. Don't try and change the world.
And this is still your one of your rules that you're living by in Morocco.
Well, it's helped to keep me out of trouble, that's for sure. And it goes more toward like the Gandhi quote, be the change you want to see in the world. Not, if you don't like the world you see on the outside, look at yourself on the inside and make the changes there, because that's the only way you're going to affect your reality and your world. You can't go to the outside too much.
And now 3 years later, you are still in Morocco. You kept coming back. What brought you back? What was the thing that kept bringing you back to Morocco?
It's hard to say. I just love the area. I always say it's the land here, the weather, the people, the spirit. I always come back to this area in Agadir region, Tamarad, Tagazout. I know Morocco is a very big country with lots of beautiful places to see, but it's just this little paradise. I feel this sensation of home when I come here. And having been here on and off for 3 years, a lot of people in the villages, shop owners, and I know more people walking down the street here than in my hometown, just because it's smaller and you see more of the same people. So I really like that feeling of community and simple life here. I like it.
Mm-hmm. And let's talk about a little bit your YouTube journey as well. So when did you start your YouTube channel, or when did you think of, okay, I want to have my own YouTube channel?
I wanted to do a YouTube channel since university, since like 2010 or so. I think I started uploading videos, getting into creative projects. They were hit or miss, mostly miss, but I still made them and eventually took them down, scrapped it, dabbled in some other projects like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, kind of like audiobook narration things. And it wasn't until I just kept trying basically for 10 years. And then last year I uploaded a video while I left America to live in Morocco, and it started to get views actually. It was really hard to get motivation or anything when you upload things that don't get views. It doesn't help that they're on crazy topics like sour Skittles and Chick-fil-A sandwiches and Mountain Dew. So it was like I found this Morocco video I made and I knew I had my niche there. Because I was always thinking about your niche. Where do you fit in this world, in this life? In biology, we have this concept of niche, and it's where you are adapted to thrive and to do well. So some birds have a long beak, it allows them to get into trees, and some have a shorter beak and allows them to get into flowers. So we all have our place that we fit in. So apparently mine with YouTube was Morocco.
Mm-hmm. So basically you were trying for, let's say, 9 years before you finally got some recognition, followers, and so on.
Yeah, I would say it was a good decade, but it wasn't like everyday videos.
No.
It's like, I have this dream, I'm gonna plant some seeds. Oh no, they didn't grow. I'm not a good farmer.
Okay. And what do you think, what was this thing that made you popular, like in Morocco? So, like your channel exploded this year, right? So, what do you think was...
It was definitely the coronavirus pandemic, state of emergency in Morocco. I think in this time, a lot of YouTubers grew across the planet, not just here in Morocco, but I was lucky enough to be in that group that had an interesting perspective or story to tell. At the time we were saying stuck in Morocco, but it was pretty much our own choice. We could have ran away and got on a plane to, I guess, America, but it seemed too dangerous at these times, and I was happy in Morocco, so I decided to stay, and especially with the channel, I was getting more views, more subscribers. It felt like we had a purpose here, and I continued to learn through this channel, through the feedback given by everybody, through the interactions, going out and making these videos, seeing what does well, which does not do well. So it was a decision to stay here that I do not regret.
Okay, and let's mention another passion of yours, that's food, right? Like, what's your favorite food here in Morocco?
Favorite food here in Morocco? I always say the rafisa. I really like rafisa. It's such a strong dish. It's got your lentils, it's got your chicken, but I just like eating the pancakes with the meat. I don't know if you guys saw the tangia video, but we have a tangia, and I eat the tangia with misemen, and that was unbelievable, so good. So I think any dish that combines misemen with meat is pretty good, and rafisa is just a classic version of that.
Can you make rafisa?
Maybe one day, inshallah.
Have you think of opening your own restaurant in Morocco?
It's a lot of responsibility and commitment. Of course, I dream always. I think about what I would cook up or sell there. A food truck could be a fun idea too. I could see that being very successful at the beaches, a little food truck, especially when things get in full swing and everyone's back at the beach. But no, a restaurant, I've heard horror stories from the restaurant industry, so it might not be my field of work. I've only worked briefly in a restaurant, so I don't have the experience for that.
Okay. Do you miss something here in Morocco? Like, you have like pretty good life here, but do you miss something?
Yeah, of course, my family from home, you know, things like that. Some tastes from home, your mom's home cooking, of course you're gonna miss. But I feel like established here, like people say your second country, your second home, and I really feel that, especially after this trip. It's been almost a year straight in Morocco now, and still love it.
Okay. Do you have like any suggestions maybe for young people who are watching, who want to start their own YouTube channel, who are still searching for themselves, like you were searching for your niche, you said, for 9 years, almost a decade? What is your recommendation or any tips? Like, what did you learn? And you can share this with your audience.
What did I learn? Just never give up, and have confidence and trust in your path and in your mission and whatever you desire to do or to be. It's a constant evolution I have found in my own life of where we wind up and where we are called to. So keep listening to that whisper inside of yourself that says this or that or yes or no. So tune into that and keep going, never give up. This is all cliches, but you know there's going to be people that tell you, oh no, or laugh at your dream, and just don't let them get you down. You know, stay on your course and do what you love, and do it for the love of it, not for the money, of course. I think olden days I'd be like, yeah, I want to make YouTube videos and make money, you know, it's easy, but it's a lot of work. It dominates our lives at this point with comments, with ideas for content, with filming, with editing. So, you know, always be careful what you wish for.
It might just happen, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see yourself in Morocco, let's say in 5 years, maybe 10 years?
Inshallah. I would love to continue, keep coming back here. I think, especially in this past year, I've made a big connection with the country, even more so than in the past. And I knew that this was a thing, because last year when I was home for Christmas, I'd watch Gordon Ramsay in Morocco on the TV, and I just miss Morocco. I'd just watch it on the TV, and it was so sad, you know. And I realized I really liked it, so I could see myself here in 5-10 years for sure, speaking Darija fluently. We hope.
Do you have any message? It's like the last day of the year. Any message for our viewers?
Happy New Year. Let 2021 bring everything you need and nothing you don't. And again, thank you guys always for watching, for commenting, for support. These videos are for you, and your guidance helps with that. So thank you, and thank you for interviewing me today, Andrea.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Made it easy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please like, subscribe, share, and we're going to do a live stream later for New Year's Eve. So check us out later. Goodbye.